A stock bottom end 6.2 with nitrous? Well, why would somebody want to do that? Well, let me explain. .065 bore, 3.62 stroke, 15-degree aluminum heads with 2.165 intake valves, 1.59 exhaust valves, all in an aluminum small block. Now the 6.2 LS3 came in GM production vehicles from 2018 to 2013. Primarily, they came in your Cadillac Escalades, the GMC Denali's, Cadillac CTS V2s, your Camaros, your Corvettes, and also the Chevrolet SS, and I believe the Pontiac G8 on the later years. Now you basically have 5 different combinations of that same 6.2 liter block. So you had the L92, which primarily came in your trucks. You had the L99, which came in your early 5th gens. Then you had the actual LS3 itself that came in your 5th gen Camaros and your Chevrolet SS's. Then in the Corvettes, you had your LSA and you had your LS9. Now your LSA and your LS9, those were your blower cars that came in the Cadillacs and Vets. So you want to go fast. You want to do a lot of the work yourself and you don't want to go bankrupt doing it. Well, I can just tell you, building you a 6.2, that's the way to go. There's one question that often gets overlooked when we're trying to build these cars. And that's, what is the purpose of the car? What exactly do you want to do with it? Because there's a plethora of things that you want to do. Now we all think, or we try, at least those of us who are trying to build street cars, to have the best of both worlds. But you want to roll race the car, 60 to 130, you want to grudge race, no time the car. You want to compete in class racing, heads-up racing. You want to bracket, index race the car. You want street car comfort with race car power. Like, you have to make a decision on what it is you're trying to do. Because if you don't answer that one question, then I don't care what it is you're trying to do, you will never finish it because you have no direction of what you actually want to do with the car. Purpose. Figure that purpose out first. Now for me, and if you saw episode 1, you knew all I ever wanted was a fast street car, right? I wanted something that I could bump around car shows every now and then, but I wanted to be able to take the car to the track and run real fast and have a car that I could take out of town and I can do racing in and out of town too. But to me, I've never seen a fast street car go out of style. Now, I'm not going to get into the debate with you about what a street car is. That's for the internet. And drop in the comment what you think a street car is. But to me, it's a car that if you look at it, it still has its factory appeal, inside and out. You can drive it. I'm not saying you have to be able to do a 1,000-mile cruise on it, but man, you don't have to put it on the trailer every time you want to go somewhere. And that was what I wanted. And being a small block and growing up around nitrous small block Chevys, this combination, man, 15 degrees, nitrous, that made all the sense in the world to me. Now, if you saw episode 1, I told you, I didn't come up with this idea. I got it from my uncle. And his buddy had a C5 that he did a 6.2 swap, I don't know, back in 2010 and 2011. So that was the idea, or the idea for this project, it came from my uncle. But then me doing the research that I like to do, I'm on LS1 Tech, and I don't know the guy. He posted under the name Orange72. He had a blue S10 with a stock bottom end 6.2 carbureted, and at the time, Nitrous Outlet's prototype puck system. Now, he posted his times and his combination when he ran it on motor and when he sprayed it on nitrous. And when I saw that, he instantly became my muse. I wanted to replicate what that truck did. Now me, I'm an ET person. I want to see a time slip. I want to see the elapsed time. I'm not a person that's big into how much horsepower something has to make. If you show me a combination, you can show me a time slip. I'm trying to replicate that. So when I saw what that truck ran, I wasn't concerned about how much power it made. I was trying to figure out how to put that same combination together, replicate it. Because what he did back in 2012, 2013, it's a lot of people in 2025 that's still not going that fast. Don't get me wrong. That was some challenges with trying to replicate what that S10 did. But when my car started doing this, I knew I was on the right path. Now listen, you don't have to take it from me. There are plenty of people who have way more knowledge about this engine combination than I do. Guadney Performance, Brian Tooley Racing, Richard Holden, Eric Weingarten, and a list of other people. Eric Weingarten just did a huge LS3 cam test, going through a bunch of different manufacturer cams just to show you how much power these engines are capable of making. But again, don't get lost on the power. Figure out the combination, right? Converter, gearing, right? Figure those things out, because I know we live in a world where we all think we need 1,000 horsepower, but if you have the right combination, you can go faster than you think. And if you stay tuned into this channel, I'm gonna show you how quick you can be with a nitrous 6.2 combination. So stay locked in and drop a comment about what you think or your opinions of a stock bottom end 6.2 on nitrous. Now, I know you see the car back here. Let me get you guys into some updates about where the car is and how far we are from actually getting it cranked. Well, as you can see, we got the front clip fully on. Headers, inner fender wells, catch cam. I finally got all of the lines ran for that. And this is probably going to be our mounting space. We have a little bracket on it, and then we're going to brace that on the back side. I got the fans. I need to run all my wiring to those. We'll have the stock latch on it. This is the trick chassis. Core support. Some of you G-body guys who have used this with the hood, let's chime in on it and let me know how this setup went for you. But everything in the engine bay is pretty much buttoned up. Right now I got the front fascia on, just trying to make sure we can figure out where this was gonna land and fit at, but you know, I can go ahead and start tightening that down. Same thing going on in the interior. I still haven't gotten around to putting the interior back into it. I do need to put the dash in it so I can wire up all my wires. Here are all my interior pieces and stuff right here. Dash down here. So we're trying to get all that put together.
I set the car on the ground because I did want to see it. These are the fuel lines. I need to get those trimmed. If some of you guys saw in the pictures, I did put the hood on and I actually scratched it up, so I'm probably gonna have to get that redone. The back seats, if some of you remember, the interior was burgundy and I dyed it gray. So, and this is not a fold back seat. This is the actual real back seat that's gonna mount back into the car. It's gonna be a full interior car, right? All steel, all glass, all the bumpers in it, all the trim, everything is going back in. And if doors are not haven't been hollowed, if you listen to that, solid, right? Got a bunch of junk going on over here on the table. But the tank is ready. So basically, get this mounted up, run the fuel lines, run all my wiring to it, and we should be fine to hold, folks. But here we go. We're getting closer and closer to our day with Destiny and getting this thing fired up. So I ended up getting the 2-inch drop spindle and also had the trick chassis lowering control arms. Well, the issue is the control arms already come with a drop in it, and so then the 2-inch drop gave me probably a 4 or 5-inch drop, and so that has the front end sitting, or the control arms, about a quarter or a half an inch off the ground, trying to get the ride height. Now, my old car, it's set like this. And so I'm trying to get this one to sit the same way, except the old car, I had the factory control arms on it with a 2-inch drop spindle. And then we were able to get the height that we want using the front shock. So I talked to Alex at Trick Chassis. He said, oh no, man, you can't do a 2-inch drop. Put the factory spindle back on it and then use your coilover to adjust your rod height. So that's one of the things that has to be taken care of today. So that means that all of this has to come off. And luckily still has some stock spindles in play. So my dad went ahead and cut the ears off and did all of the stuff. So now we can go through the process of putting the stock spindles back on it and getting on the ground and see if we can adjust our rod height the way we need to.
When a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I love it when a plan comes together.